in a row where we have been empowering aspiring entrepreneurs, giving them tools to succeed in their businesses. And it's been such an amazing time to get these random personalities who I have no idea of, and to be able to pour into them, to be able to guide them in the direction and give them feedback that can inspire them and go into their business and make a difference. And today we got my man Jose. Jose, how you doing, bro?
Doing well, doing well. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing pretty awesome, man. And admittedly, earlier I said to Jose, I actually thought he was a different person just by the name, and so I'm happy that this is my first time actually interacting with you one on one.
Yep.
And that makes me happy. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I ended up meeting you with Kalisha Carter at the Tampa event. It was just,
Okay.
so you might remember my face from there. It was really quick. There was so many people there. That was an amazing.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. And yeah, it's been a good time. It's been like trial by fire, man. Learning everything, navigating this new business. I've been in real estate 17 years, so I've done traditional real estate for that long.
Oh, wow.
2005. I honestly started getting pretty bored of it. I like a challenge. I like trying new things, learning new things, and it was becoming more of just a routine. It was getting redundant. Client out. Just, I mean, money's good, but money's not everything.
Right.
So for me, I needed more fulfillment. I dipped over in 2008, 9, 10. I went over to the bank side. So I was doing BPOs for the banks, working on evictions, pre-foreclosures, doing comps for the banks and all that stuff. So that was fun. But through that, it led me to a ton of investors through that whole era. So in that space, I ended up meeting about 5 or 7 like consistent investors that were just buying properties from me, from the leads that I had anyway from the bank. So we would try and save all these homeowners before the auction day, before the banks came and did their foreclosure thing. I was able to help out quite a few homeowners back in that time frame. So that was much more fulfilling, as much as it did take from me, because situations where it just gets sad.
Yeah.
There's just nothing you can do. You show up in a house and all the belongings are just left behind. It looks like people just left in a rush. Stoves on for a couple days.
Wow.
It was just like the movies, like The Big Short. I lived through that.
How has your journey been now as an investor with the knowledge that because you actually have a cheat code in doing a ton of deals?
Exactly.
What does that look like?
So with this, instead of just keeping it all to myself and using it as a catapulting my business, I'm realizing that now I'm an elephant leader in the past couple challenges. So what I'm doing is I'm helping the people that are coming into this space as an investor, or just trying to do the new things with these auction properties, or what's to come, because the next couple months is going to be a little scary. Trying to teach everybody what nobody taught me. I kind of just learned on the go. So if they can learn from my errors from my past, it'll be a much easier road for them too.
Wow, bro, that's pretty awesome of you. And I feel like that's definitely something that we connect on, because I mean, everything that I do is based on trying to help the previous version of myself, right? And even with a new program that we just launched, Purpose Waze, that program is designed to teach people coming out of their 9 to 5 all the things I wish I knew before becoming my own boss. That's what it's designed for, man, because you get on this journey and it's just like you're grinding it out, right? You're just like, your eyes closed, but you're just pushing. And it's like, hey, let me help you get to where you want to get to without the brute force, without the extra stress. You do not have to go through what we went through. And so that's pretty awesome of you, man. And it's interesting because you said that initially you wanted to find something more purposeful.
Right.
Do you feel like that's filling that cup for you?
For me, I've always been the type of person that if I can make someone change their mood from sad to happy, that was my fulfillment for a long time. That's why I feel like I didn't go into real estate with that. I just ended up staying in the real estate game because of that. I would help homeowners out, and I would just know when we go through a home if it was a good fit for them or not, just by the look in their eyes or by the way the kids acted in the house when they would run through and just check it out.
Yeah.
It's just a different energy when it's the right house for them. So as far as fulfillment, I love that part of the journey. But now I feel like it's a good portion of my fulfillment, but now it's not everything. Now I've learned that I need to fill my own cup in my way before I do it for others. So that's what I've been working on for like the last year and a half.
Are you saying that you're still in discovery right now for a clearer path and purpose for yourself?
Absolutely. It's been something that I've been missing for a while. So I feel like I am just at the very beginning of this journey of self-discovery, figuring out when I need to set my limits as far as giving, because I can give all day long. And
Sure.
it won't bother my body, it won't bother my mind, because that's where I find fulfillment. But at the same time, I'm not noticing what's coming in. What's coming in? What am I feeding myself? Other than pineapples and a shake in the middle of the afternoon. But truly, it's like it starts with nutrition. It starts with exercise. All these small things that you don't really see as filling your own cup, that's exactly what you need.
Oh my gosh, dude. Tell me about it. It's so funny you said that because I'm also building and creating an app for my new clients. And I'm building out like morning routines and things like that. And this morning I put in there like exercise and, meditation time and, that type of stuff. I know you get fulfilled by helping others see, get a new home. You save people from losing their homes and that type of stuff, which I think is amazing. Do you have any idea or thoughts on what could actually fill your cup, Jose?
That's what I'm working on. I thought filling my cup would be doing a sport or an activity that had nothing to do with business. It was, but it's 10%, if that.
Yeah.
Then I started going into exercising and doing my runs and things like that. Another 5-10%. So I'm thinking in my new head, like I said, I'm a baby to this. I'm thinking I'm just gonna find something and it's gonna fill me. Like it's a combination of things that will fill you. So you have to have grace with yourself when you don't do one piece of that routine that you're trying to stick to. And if you lose that piece and you feel like you lost everything, that's not true, because it's just a piece you need. So you have to, at the same time, as much as you want to build structure and a routine, you've got to give yourself grace to mess up. And okay, today I decided I just want to go full blast into work. It's okay. Tomorrow I'll get better at it.
What version of yourself do you think you would want to help the most? And to say, man, I don't want my 17-year-old Jose to ever go through like college like this. Like, oh my gosh, if I could just direct them. You know how sometimes you're watching a movie and you're talking to the TV and you're like, don't go around the corner. Someone's there, right?
Yeah.
Which version of yourself would you direct to not go around that corner and to do something else?
So I went through this question a few months ago, just actually during meditation one morning, and that just came to me, and it was so easy. I realized it was my 24, 25, mid-20s version of myself. I remember at that age, my daughter was just born. She was born in 2010. I'm 36 years old. She was born in 2010, and I remember at that time, thinking right before she was born, like, there's no time. I've got to grow up. I've got to do this faster. I've got to get my business off the ground. My daughter's about to be born. Like, there is just no time. I've got to hit it, and I got to hit it hard and quickly because I'm getting to my 30s. And once I hit my 30s, like, my goodness, you're going to like slow down a bit. You're not going to have the energy you have now. God, I was so wrong. That was like, I am an infant at that age. There was so much more time. But you didn't think that way. And I feel like if I would have told myself to take it slower, I would have accomplished more. Being in that rat race and pushing myself faster to grow faster, to do more things, I feel like scattered me instead of making me progress with purpose.
Wow, that's huge, man.
As soon as the child was born, it's like, go, 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 instead of recognizing where you are and realizing, damn, I'm in a good spot to build from here. There's a lot of people that don't give themselves that praise to recognize that you're in a good spot compared to others. Just because you're young doesn't mean that you need to have accomplished, or you just had your child, that you had to have your business set and ready to go, or everything figured out. Like, everybody, regardless of your age, I feel like is figuring it out.
Wow. Man, do you know how many lives you could impact just by sharing these stories? Because you're so right. I had my son when I was 21. I had my son when I was 21.
Okay.
And it was such, like, I was so nervous about it. And that's because in my head, I'm like, I just have to be the best father possible ever, right? Because I got to be responsible for this human. And it's like, you know, I can't return him back to his parents. You know what I mean? And so you go in thinking so much, and then you get there and you kind of figure it out. You know, you realize that, I don't want to say it's not that serious, but life isn't going to end the way that you thought.
Yeah.
And so what would that look like for you in terms of being able to walk in this purpose? And that's part one to the question. The second part to that question is, have you already started to sprinkle some of this in your lifetime right now?
It's funny you ask that, because I mean, there's one thing to know it, and then there's one thing to actually act it and make it a piece of your life, your daily habits, right?
Yeah.
I try and build structure. I try and have routines, but in the business we're in with real estate and being an entrepreneur and building things up, it's so hard to maintain structure and a routine because you just want to grab opportunities when they're there. So as far as just knowing where I'm implementing things, I've implemented it on just small stuff, like putting my phone on automatic do not disturb by 11:30 p.m. until 7 a.m. Nothing's touching, nothing's coming in and out. Making sure that in the morning when I wake up, I'm up at like 5:45, 6. If I don't go for a run, I'll go for a walk and walk my puppy. Or if I don't feel the energy to go and do that, I'll just sit in front of my bed and just meditate, sit in silence, turn off the AC, turn off vents, turn off everything, figure out what thoughts come into my mind when just sitting there. Sometimes there's nothing, and there's other days that a ton comes in. And figuring that out as you go along your day, because it gives you some energy. And sometimes it's the thoughts that come into your mind when you're meditating, they're like preemptive. They tie to what's about to come throughout the day. And
Yeah.
It's so odd. I don't know if you've experienced that, but there's some days where I'll say a word and it comes out later on in that day. I'm like, where did I hear that? And I was like, oh geez, I was meditating and I heard that.
Yeah.
How does that happen? There's unexplainable things that happen to you, and some people call it coincidences. Some people call it miracles. I feel like we have the power to bring whatever's about to come into our day, as long as we start it right and with intention. We can bring it. We can fulfill our day the way we want.